All right, let's go ahead and configure static routing. Let's do static routing. So, and all static routes and routing it's just, instead of me using dynamic routing protocols where it automatically give the routers their routes, I'm manually configuring them. So yeah, let's do it. Keep this simple. Keep it simple per usual. Let's go. Let's go ahead and set up the address we want to use. We'll set this one is 10. We'll set this one is. I'll use this one. Use a /8 subnet for this one. So we'll make this one /8, and then we'll do. I'll use a different subnet over here. Subnet mask. So you do 816, and then over here we'll do 0/24. Point. Oh wait. I'll do 2/24. All right. So let's go ahead and get these configured. Make sure I'm on the right interfaces. Yep, FA. No. FA. /1. IP interface. 192.68.3.0 /24 subnet. Oh. How did I do it wrong? Oh. IP. Oh. Sorry, y'all. I typed that in like I'm so used to doing IP for the routers. Gotta put that. So then no shut. Oh wait, that was the wrong interface, wasn't it? Ah, that was. So I need to go ahead and change that. So all you gotta do to remove that. No. I need to go to the right interface. Since I'm here, I might as well just go ahead and configure the other one. There we go. So now that's set up. Out of there. Now we need to get into IP interface, IP address 6.68.3.0.1 255.255.255.0. Here we go. Now we do no shut. There we go. And then over here, make sure this is the right interface. Wait. Yeah, I did it right. No. T. Configure. Thank you. IP interface FA /0 IP address 10 dot. So .2. Yeah. No shut. There you go. So we got that subnet done. So let's go on to the next one. Interface phase /1 IP address 20.10.0.1 255.255.0.0. No shut. There we go. Now let's go over here. Shoot. There we go. So it's FA1. All right. No. T FA /1 IP address 20.10.0.2 255.255. So /16 subnet. No shut. There we go. Let's go ahead and get the last interface that we want. IP address 172.17. What would I have it as? 2-1 255. So /24 subnet .0. No shut. There we go. So now when we go on our routers, do show IP route, we can see only the ones we're connected to. Yep. that one. So now we need to configure routes to get to the routers that are not connected, and vice versa. Basically, those interfaces right here. Because notice right here, this interface can't get to the 192.68.3. So if I tried to ping from, if I tried to basically ping from this one, I'll give you an example. So if I do ping, I can't even really, I can ping this one. But see what happens if I try to ping 192.168.3-1. I can't ping that one. You can't ping it. See? You can't ping it. Because I don't have a route to get there. So yeah. So, oh wait, make sure that was plugged in. So as you can see, so now you go here. So we need to route this router so we can get to the 20.10 subnet. So IP route 20.10. So that's the subnet we want to get to. We put the mask we want. Then we put the interface that we're going to use to forward to get there. In this case, we would be using the 10.002. So 10.002. So then when I go back into the routing table, you should have a static route to get to that network from there. So let's see what happens if I try to ping 10.00-1. We'll try to do that one. And I'll explain to you. So you see I'm able to get a ping. Boom. So let's try 2. So I bet you're wondering, why could I ping the first address, but I couldn't ping the second interface? That's because that's on a different router. See, if I go to this one, see, I don't have a way to get back to 10. So that's why I can ping that first interface that's connected to the router that I'm connected to on 1, but I can't get to the second router because it's basically like I can send the message there and it could probably get it, but guess what? It can't send the message back. It doesn't know where to send it back to. So that's why you gotta also, that's why with static configurations, you gotta really make sure you are using two-way configurations, because if you configure one end and don't configure the other, you won't get connectivity. So that's why now I have to go on this one, IP route. So I already did that, so I can exit here. IP route 10.0.0.0. So that's something that we want to get to, 5.0.0.0. And use from this interface that we're going to use to forward, which is the 20.10.0.1. So if I do show IP route, you can see I have a static route to get there via 20.10-0.1. So now let's see what happens if I try to ping it again. See, I can ping it because guess what? Now the other side, 20.10.0.1.0.2, I mean, he knows how to send the message back. He knows where to send the message back to, and vice versa. So now if you if I do show IP route. Now, notice on this router right here, theoretically, if I tried to ping the 1.72.17 network, the subnets, the actual networks, I wouldn't be able to get to them because guess what? It doesn't know how to get there. And this one doesn't also know how to get to 1.72, and this one doesn't know how to get to, let me see. You can see this one doesn't know how to get to 192, and that one doesn't know how to get to 172. So they don't know how to get to each other. So we got medium. We're not fully, we don't have full connectivity across the network yet, but we're getting there. So now, if I do show route, so now if I do IP route 192.1.72.17.2.0.255/24 subnet via the interface that we're going to use to forward to get there. Now, if I go back to my routing table, you can see I'm routed to get there now. I know how to get there. But key point, I have to do the same thing on here as well, because this is only half the battle. Because that the interface that I'm using to forward doesn't know how to get to the network from there. This knows where to forward it to, but that's half the battle, remember? So now you have to make sure you do it. You have to do it on both sides. So do IP route 172.17.2.0, /24 subnet 0, and then I have to use the interface that's going to use to forward to get there, and vice versa. So now we're using 20.10.0.2. Now you see, he knows how to get to that subnet. Boom. See that? So now, since I'm here, I might as well do the other one. Well, no, I'll go back to do that one because I'll go backwards. So now, from here, he knows how to get. He does it, but this route doesn't know how to get back to the 192.68.3 subnet. So now I got to go backwards. Remember, two-way with manual. See, with static, it's manual. You got to make sure you're manually establishing the routes both ways. You got to know how to get there and also how to get back. So now, IP route 192.68.3.0, and you do 255.255.255, the /24 subnet, and you use the interface that we're going to use to forward, which is the 2.10.0.1. So now, if I go here, boom, it knows where to go, where to forward that packet to get to this subnet, to get to that subnet. So now, but remember, where I'm forwarding, the router that I'm using to forward it to doesn't know how to get to that route. So basically, if I tried to ping right now from 172 over to 190 for 192.68, I wouldn't be able to get a response back. It'd be similar to the other one because I wouldn't even be able to send it all the way there because the second router that I'm forwarding to doesn't know how to get there. So yeah, here we go. So we're gonna do IP route 192.68-3.0 /24 subnet. And then remember, we got to use the interface that we're going to use, which is going to be 0-10.001. So do show IP route. So you can see now we have a way to get there and vice versa. Boom. And this knows how to get there. So now if I try to do ping 172.17.2.1, you can see I got connectivity because I know how to get there and get back. And if I do the same thing on this router, I'm finna ping 192.68-3.1. You can see I got connectivity because it knows how to get there and get back. So you're able to get a response. And as you can see, if I do a trace route, watch this. When I do a trace route, do trace route 68.3-1. Oh, there you go. I forgot you got to type it fully out in the terminal. You can see the IP, the routers. Like you can see the addresses of the routers that were used to forward the traffic, right? And if I go on this end, watch this. Do trace route 172.17.0-1. You can see the IP addresses of the interfaces we used to get there, and vice versa. As you can see, it's just, and that's pretty much static routing for you. It's just manual configurations and routes that you're putting in. And remember this is important. Static addresses are always going to have less AD and are going to be more preferred than dynamic. So if you have say if you have an address, you have two routes to the same place. One is dynamic and one is static. Your router is going to pick the static one always. Remember that. That's important. But that's pretty much static addresses, manual configurations. They're very good for backup routes in case your dynamic protocols fail. You always have a way to still keep connectivity. So, and those are typically called floating static routes, where you raise the AD so that your router will pick the dynamic protocol route. But if it fails, the static one is used as a backup or failover. So that's why it's called a floating static route, because it's just floating there, not being used, but it's there. He there. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.